Ever feel like your exhaustion isn't your fault? Like it's somehow baked into the system? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into. We're going to pull back the curtain on what are called the architectures of exhaustion. Basically, the hidden blueprints that have fatigue designed right into our daily lives.
So let's just get right to it with a huge question. Did we actually design our world to make us tired? I mean, is all this exhaustion we're feeling an accident? Or is it a feature, not a bug, of the world we live in?
Because you know the feeling. It's 6 a.m., the alarm is screaming at you, it's pitch black outside, and you feel like a complete zombie. Well, that feeling? It's not just you. It's a symptom of a much, much bigger design problem.
So today, we're basically gonna be detectives. We're gonna uncover those blueprints. We'll look at how history, chemistry, and yeah, even public policy have all kind of conspired to create this constant state of tired that we all know so well.
Okay, so to really get a handle on why we're so tired now, we've got to jump in a time machine. We need to go back and see how the fancy, grand societies of the past were literally built on the backs of people who were completely exhausted and completely hidden. So let me introduce you to someone. This is Alice Sutton. It's 1906 and she's just 16 years old. She's an under housemaid, and her workday is over 12 hours long. And get this, her day is filled with these back-breaking, sometimes totally pointless tasks. Like, she had to wash floor tiles with milk, just to make them gleam for fancy dinner guests she'd never even see. And that's the whole point, right? For these giant, beautiful houses to look so perfect and effortless, all the work and the workers had to be invisible. The exhaustion Alice felt wasn't some mistake. No, it was a required part of the system designed to be kept downstairs, totally out of sight and out of mind. So you gotta wonder, how on earth do you make people work like that? I mean, when every single part of your body is just screaming for you to stop and rest. Well, the answer they came up with was chemistry. Let's look at the kola nut. For centuries, it was this sacred seed in West Africa, a real symbol of community. But then, come the 19th century, industrialists looked at it and saw something else. They saw its caffeine as a tool. It was literally weaponized to get more labor out of people, packed into something called forced march tablets. And then, you might know this one, it became a key ingredient in a little drink marketed as a cure for exhaustion, Coca-Cola. And that changed everything. We basically engineered a society where instead of listening to our bodies, we just use stimulants to shut them up. We created this tired but wired culture, right? Just overriding our natural biology to keep up with the relentless ticking of the industrial clock. Now, don't think for a second this war on our own biology is just some dusty old history. Nope, it's happening right now. It happens every single morning in high schools everywhere. And this is where it gets absolutely wild. So scientifically, a teenager's brain is just wired differently. Their body doesn't even start releasing melatonin, the sleep hormone, until about 11 p.m. So waking a teen up at 6 a.m., that's the biological equivalent of waking an adult up at 4 in the morning. 4 a.m., can you imagine? We are literally setting our kids up for failure. We're putting them in a fight against their own bodies, a fight they just can't win. And so when they're cranky or they can't focus in first period, it's not because they're moody teenagers. It's because they are chronically sleep deprived, and we're the ones who design the schedule that's doing it to them. So why? Why do we do this? Honestly, it comes down to logistics. It's all about bus schedules and making sure the timing lines up with adult workdays. The system is designed for convenience, not for humans. It completely ignores what our brains actually need, things like processing emotions and locking in memories, which, by the way, all happen when we're asleep. Okay, I know, this all sounds kind of depressing, but here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. Just because something is broken doesn't mean it can't be fixed. So the real question is, how do we start to redesign our world? But this time, let's design it for people, for our own well-being. And believe it or not, history actually gives us a fantastic roadmap. Let's look at Edo, which is now modern-day Tokyo. 400 years ago, that city was on the verge of total collapse. But they turned it all around by adopting this amazing concept called motainai. It's a philosophy about being satisfied with just enough and not wasting anything. And what that proves is that an entire society can hit the reset button. It can fundamentally change how it operates. And that's the big takeaway here. All these systems that make us so tired, they were designed by people. And anything that was designed by people can be redesigned by people. We do not have to just accept being tired all the time as the new normal.
So, what's the goal? What's the alternative to being tired but wired? Well, there's this great term from musicians. They call it being in the pocket. You know that feeling when everything just clicks? It's an effortless, smooth groove. It's not about being lazy, it's about being in sync, totally present, and in a natural rhythm with yourself and everything around you. So, how do we get there? How do we build our own little survival system? Well, it starts by questioning the clock. Actually asking, does this schedule work for my body, for my health? It means being brutally honest with ourselves about the fact that we're human and we need rest. And you can start small. It can be as simple as changing your sleep position. But it also means thinking bigger, like joining the conversation to advocate for real changes, like, say, later school start times.
So, I want to leave you with a thought. If you had the power to change just one thing, one blueprint in this whole architecture of exhaustion to help us all wake up feeling refreshed, what would you change? Because just seeing the flawed design is always the first step to building something better.